Hi everyone, Tom Slivick. Welcome to today's News In-Depth format segment. I'm with CEO of the Jackson Rancheria Casino and Hotel, Rich Hoffman.
Tommy?
Good buddy, Rich. How you doing? It is always a pleasure to see you again. You're just a nice, fun guy to be around.
Yeah.
And, you know, a week back, TSPN and stuff goes back. And, you know, so that's kind of fun. Also, you've got some great things in the news. The Jackson Rancheria now has the highest minimum wage, and that's in the United States. They've offered us. So that was a big news story. We want to talk to you about that. And also, Rich Hoffman has been chosen as the Chamber's 2013 Business Person of the Year. And that's great, and I think you deserve that. And most of the people know who he is, and he does nutty commercials. So stick around. I think you're going to see one of those. I think it's the first spot. So stay with us right here on TSPN. We'll be right back. You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. Well, hi everyone, and welcome back. And as I promised, we're going to have Rich Hoffman. Rich, one of your jobs is you're the CEO of Jackson Rancheria. I guess that probably is your job.
That's my main job.
That's your.
It encompasses
that's what you do
a number
in the
of
afternoon
things.
And mornings and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And great news for the employees at Jackson Rancheria, and you know, coming off of the heels of California raising the minimum wage in a two-step process that would take it to $10, I believe, by the end of 15, maybe 16 is when it starts.
Beginning of 16.
For the the top hit the $10 mark, and the Rancheria came up and decided to pay a minimum wage of $10.60.
Right. So you know, upon learning about the state increase, Adam and the tribal council talked about where we were at as a government, as every government has the authority to make these decisions about the jurisdiction over which they preside. And so we got into some dialogue about minimum wages, and it just wasn't palatable to Adam and the tribe to wait until 2016. We're not actually obligated to follow the state, right, because we're in a sovereign area. So really the only obligation we have is the federal level, which is $7.25 and $2.13. Can you believe it, for tipped employees? But naturally that wasn't acceptable for the tribe. So they wanted to kickstart that. And to enhance it further, thought, well, what's the highest minimum wage in the United States right now? It just happens to be $10.55 in San Francisco, so that's how we got to $10.60. So we could reward our staff and make them feel good about working in an area that has the highest minimum wage in the country.
That's great, and it's wonderful that it's here, and it's a great testimony, I would say, to the Rancheria and yourself as being able to run a business that finds that that's a fine way to go, convenient, and a way to reward their workers.
Well, the tribe's been, very conservative. The tribe doesn't have any debt. It doesn't have any management fees that it's paying outsiders to run the company. So, and it's invested quite wisely. So, after weathering this really tough economy and making some tough decisions in terms of, downsizing the company to get through to the other side, the tribe really wanted to recognize the staff for sticking with us through these tough times, and it's important for their personal economies. It's important for our local economy, because most of those people, especially at those entry-level positions, live here because it just doesn't pencil out to travel a long distance and work for minimum wage. So it'll have a real immediate impact on our local economy, and there's a multiplicity to that. Okay,
the resort and the casino is the largest employer in Amador County. How many do you employ, Rich?
It fluctuates because we are a large employer, but it's about 1175, right in there. Yeah.
Okay, and now the Rancheria finished its the remodification and rebuild of a lot of structure there, and has that been good for the Rancheria?
Yeah, and we're still fine tuning. The construction's been done for a while, but we're still fine tuning the food and beverage outlets. The way we use the property. So it's a continuous process to get it just right. We've got great loyal guests who share with us their opinion. We've got a great staff who treats them well and provides really the best customer service in our industry, in our region here. So we're starting to see some of the upside of that remodel.
Okay, now I just noticed. I just thought of this, so I'm going to throw it out there. You're moving around some dirt by the gas station. What is that going to be?
Every time we've done a construction project, we never quite get the amount of storage we need right. Okay. So really, that's what it is. We do have some outside storage in Sutter Hill, but we're working on a storage facility that's accessible to the casino. So that's essentially what it is. A storage facility, truck wash, a place where we can take care of our equipment properly. So that's what it is. And these rancherias weren't commercial properties. They were hilly, brushy places. So every flat spot we've had to claim.
Right. We're going out there with a bulldozer to make it flat.
That's right.
Okay. So Rancheria coming along fine, and the music that's coming there and the talent that you're putting up every weekend is just phenomenal, I think. Yeah,
well, it's a great place if you haven't been there to see a show. Right now we're moving into the indoor show season where we use the Grand Oak Ballroom. But, national level entertainment in a room that's very intimate, not a bad seat in the house. So you can check our website, JacksonCasino.com, and we keep that freshened up in terms of what's on sale and who's coming.
Now, we've got a couple of minutes. Anything more you would like to say about the Rancheria CEO?
Well, it's good, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity. The tribe is a great family to work for. I've been there almost 20 years, so I really appreciate them and the opportunity they've given me. And I just work with a bunch of great people, and people who, like Margaret Dalton, who I learned a great deal from in terms of running a business that isn't completely bottom line oriented, but takes other factors into consideration.
Right. And I'd have to say, I've gotten to know Adam and Dennis a lot more from the park projects and going out in the field and talking with them and meeting them. There are a couple of really great guys. Well, why don't we talk about that a little bit too?
Sure.
Because to me, the Rancheria is like probably Amador County's greatest asset, a great contributor. I mean, just about everything, and the parks projects especially. Just wonderful stuff that they did. Took on Molly Joyce, fixed that up, moved down to Volcano, started in the park, and says, there's so much more we could do, which is one thing that I like, the way that the tribe goes ahead and works. They kind of say, well, that doesn't look good next to this new thing we just put in here. Why don't we fix that too? Right. And of course, from there I went to John Amyfield, and and from there did that once again. Says, field's looking pretty good. The rest of the park looks maybe a little shabby. Why don't we pull it on up? And they did, and they just did a great job of that. So I like the way they see things and try to.
Well, that's it's really where these parks.
Do class act. Yeah. It's such a class act.
But these parks are where our society starts. Our civil society.
Right.
Because I come from a different background. You come from a different background. We grow up, kind of isolated in our families, and then we go to the park and we start to see people from different economic backgrounds and different racial, ethnic backgrounds, and it's really where we first start to come together. That symbol of that, really is important, I think, to the tribe, and to have everybody from every background have access to a great park really feels good.
It certainly does. Yeah. And of course now the Rancheria is, or the band is doing wonderful work cleaning up Chassé, and believe me, it was really let down.
Yeah, because of
there's
budgets.
no money.
Yeah, because of budgets
state.
and other constraints and challenges. There was a great deal of deferred maintenance, which resulted in the roundhouse starting to collapse and not the opportunity to use it. The tribe's, local Native Americans' opportunity to use it ceremonially was diminished. So the tribe has taken a lot of pride in starting that process. The roofs removed. The dancers were able to dance in it for the first time in a few years for big time, which was important and special. And we're continuing to work with the state on a plan to put it back together in a culturally appropriate way. That all the Adams organized all the local tribal people in a way that we can get this done.
It certainly has. It has a big crew out there, and I was amazed the day that we were out there. It seemed like there was some other people that came along that were being trained to watch out for artifacts and things around Native American properties and things like that, or wherever digging and things were going on. So they probably numbered 35, 40. So I think you had about 200 people out there, easy. And of course, Dennis loves feeding people. So
absolutely, and he's good at it. Yeah.
So that was a great thing. And of course, why don't you tell us a little bit about maybe when we come back about what you're doing with the state in hopes of maybe having more to do with that park, the tribe having more to do with that park. So stay with us right here on TSPN.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.